Even though Diddy is already behind bars and dealing with non-stop investigations, attention is now turning toward his son, Christian King Combs. After what's come out from this incident, many are questioning whether Christian could be the next person facing serious legal trouble.
Christian Combs allegedly found her a short time later and insisted she find him a place to sleep. She directed him to the yacht cinema, which was used as an extra sleeping area, where he blocked her in, the suit states. Christian Combs allegedly began to touch her and took off his clothes. The suit states that his blank was blank and he grabbed her arms and was trying to force the plaintiff to perform, brains on him, the suit states.
The situation began when a former yacht stewardess, Grace Omar, came forward with disturbing allegations. She said that in December 2022, while working on a yacht chartered by Diddy, Christian pressured her to take a tequila shot she believed had been drugged.
According to the lawsuit, Omarke says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over.
Grace says that almost immediately after taking the drink, everything spiraled. According to her, Christian cornered her inside a room on the yacht, grabbed her, touched her without consent, and became aggressive when she tried to escape.
And now we focus on December 28th, 2022. She says that Christian reportedly arrives on that yacht, very intoxicated, and then pressures her to take shots of tequila. She says that she did, that Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more, and she tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift recording studio. And that's important, and I'll explain why in a second. The complaint reads, at this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. And she says she claims from there, that Christian allegedly kisses her neck and face as he gropes her legs, her breasts, her private areas. And according to her, she reportedly tells Christian, quote, excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Now, remember where I said this was happening, this recording studio? Well, the alleged assault was reportedly witnessed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones. This is a music producer who had apparently accompanied Combs basically everywhere for a year while they were working on Combs' latest album, Love, Off the Grid. And we remember that Rodney Jones has filed his own separate lawsuit against Sean Combs and others. And he was saying that he was in this recording studio when this was going on, when Christian and Omarke were there. And he might even have some audio that was recorded of this interaction.
She says she went to the captain for help, hoping someone would step in, but instead she was ignored and later fired. According to her, the most disturbing incident happened afterward in the yacht's cinema room.
She tried to go back to work, but Christian ends up finding her and wants her to find him a place to sleep for the night in the yacht. So she takes him to the cinema room of the yacht. And that is when she claims Christian stopped her from leaving, groped her, took off all of his clothes, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. Now, she says she was allegedly able to fight him off. Someone walks into the room, and then she was able to leave. And she said when she reported this to the captain, according to her, the captain berates her. And she alleges that the captain may have even been paid off by Sean Combs to keep quiet about what happened. And I will tell you what's really interesting about this complaint, embedded in the complaint are photographs that purport to be Omarke's arms with bruises on them. And that is really interesting. You don't usually see that in a complaint like this. Now, she's not only suing Christian Combs, like I mentioned before, for all those different causes of action, but she is also suing Sean Combs too. You see, Sean Combs is named as a defendant because she accuses him of aiding and abetting Christian's behavior, as well as having premises liability because he was the leaseholder of the yacht. Premises liability means that you have a duty to keep people on your property safe from injuries. So
Grace believes there was a deliberate cover-up. She claims only selected staff members were asked to submit statements, while she and her partner were completely excluded, making accusations of protecting Diddy at the expense of victims seem far more believable.
We're all about, oh, Diddy's turning gray behind bars. Who gives a flying fig about his hair? I don't care. I want this to be about the victims. That's what I want. That's how I perceive it. And I have dealt with so many victims. I've had victims that could never have a romantic relationship with a man after that. That feeling of helplessness. You can't fight back. And you just, then after, people may not believe you. If you're lucky enough to have children, it affects how you raise them. You know, like my fiance was murdered shortly before our wedding. You think I don't know where my children are right now? You don't think I'll look at Life 360 50 times a day? When my husband leaves to go out of town, I'm like, well, he could die. That's just my reality.
That's trauma. Yeah.
Same thing with these women.
The yacht Grace was working on wasn't in California, which complicates the legal side of the case. But complicated doesn't mean finished. With ongoing federal, state, and international investigations linked to Diddy, anything involving his inner circle could be reopened. Grace's accusations are serious enough that authorities could revisit the case, especially if new evidence or witnesses emerge. Christian lives in California, and if investigators believe her story fits a larger pattern tied to Diddy's lifestyle, Christian could be questioned again and potentially face real criminal charges. Making matters worse, videos of Christian partying and celebrating online have only added fuel to the fire.
The defense, meanwhile, argued the women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires, and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual. And there you see, after the verdict, Diddy's family celebrating on the streets in New York City, doing push-ups on the sidewalk while others danced. They said a few words exclusively to ABC News.
Needless to say, Gene Deal was not impressed.
That's some clown shit. King clown. That's some real clown shit. Man, listen to me, man. Let me just tell you something, bro. And this is real talk. He's still going to jail. You happy because he didn't get the RICO and the racketeering, so he gets to keep his money. He gets to keep his inheritance. He gets to keep all the shit that they stole over the years from other people. That's why he happy. Him and Puff wasn't that tight. They used to go at it. People close by would tell that story. Yeah, that's still his father. But you and I both know that extra shit right out there, come on, man. Outside the court, the judge might give him extra time for this and his antics. Puff not coming home, bro. And you got to realize at 50-something years old, he'll come out to get his Social Security or better. How old is he? Born in 69? We're like 54, 55, something like that. He'll come out and get his Social Security. He had to do 85% of his time. That right there, King Kong or Christian, acting like that in front of the courts, in front of everybody. They be taking these judges back information. These fucking the officers, they got people around there looking at that. There were victims in this case, bruh.
The discussion then turned more personal. Gene said Christian never had to earn anything in life, growing up rich and spoiled, while trying to act tough despite never living that reality.
But when do you grow up, man, and be who you really are? Because you ain't no gangster. You don't know what a gangster is. You a prankster. You a prankster, son. Stop that. I think when the people heard the mixtape and they called him out on it, and they was checking him and they was trying to check him, but they lost, bruh. They don't have no guidance. The dude who's supposed to be doing, I don't know if he's security, whatever like that. Man, what the fuck is you doing out here like this? He gets on the ground and start doing push-ups up with him. Bruh, for real? Man, put your shirt on and get your ass back in that damn car. Stop acting like you stupid. Act like you got some sense. That's when they making the dollar make them, bruh. The dollar is making them. What you happy about? You gotta realize they know his daddy's still going to jail. They happy because they feel like the government doesn't have a right to mess with nobody's assets at this time. The verdict on the RICO, non and void. Nothing. Racketeering, nothing. And I guess it was some kind of, what was the other charge? Sex or something like that? Not sex. They got the sex charges, but the RICO, the racketeering, and the kidnapping. The kidnappings, coercion, kidnapping, all this like that. All that was non-void. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. But you still partying? Your dad about to do some time.
Soon after, another video surfaced showing King trying to get his girlfriend to twerk on camera. She refused, but he kept pushing. For Jean, it felt like watching a younger version of Diddy repeating the same behavior.
They wanna stop the shit, but they don't understand, but they stand me, telling me crazy. No real boss. He ain't no real king. He could make her own, earn her keep. He ain't no real king, man. Come on, man. These kids is clowns out here, bro. You know, it don't have really nothing to do with his father being in jail or nothing like that. You know, these guys right here, they always wanted to be, you know, instead of going and doing something positive in the world and being somebody positive in the world, they live this lifestyle of spoiled rich kids and been given enough to do nothing instead of being given something enough to do something. They've been given enough to do nothing instead of being given enough to do something. It's a difference. So, never had to work a day in his life. All he know is the hip hop scene, want to be something that he's not.
Jean said Christian acts without thinking, and that kind of behavior is exactly what can reopen cases. Investigators, judges, and prosecutors watch everything, and when they see public bragging, taunting, or courthouse celebrations, they take notes. Jean ended by saying he doesn't even care anymore.
Anything for attention right now, man. Anything for attention, you know, and if they want to make you believe that they happy, they want to fool you to believe that they happy, bruh. He's an attention seeker. I look back on all the things that all his sons had been doing. Well, just him, Justin, because Quincy ain't his son. That's Al B. Sure's son. King Kong has been the reckless of all of them that came to represent him. Did some mixtape with Kanye West, dissing the witnesses, threatening them with a rifle outside the courtroom with his shirt off, doing jumping jacks, screaming victory and all that. talking about they going on tour, the reunion tour, whatever, then having this girl twerk or trying to get his girl a twerk or whatever like that.
If Gene's assessment is accurate, Christian Combs' recent actions could land him in prison just like his father. And that's especially bad considering Diddy's current reality behind bars is nothing like the life he once lived.
Well, Diddy is just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people and get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
this got to be
his first
This got to
assignment.
be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does
he is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
So here's my question. I mean, that's the story.
Yeah.
My question is this. So Diddy had a certain persona before he got in all this trouble. And now he looks very different, very much older.
Yes.
When he gets out,
The man who once flew on private jets, walked red carpets, and hosted million-dollar parties is now confined to a prison cell. Since September 2024, when Diddy was hit with serious charges, his life unraveled, ending up in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a facility known for harsh and dangerous conditions.
We have the video tonight of a jail fight that ended with a guard being taken to the hospital. It happened earlier this month at the Metropolitan Detention Center. You can see a group of inmates gathered in the day room when inmates begin to fight. When the camera moves back, some inmates start scattering as others continue to fight. Guards rush in to try to break up the fight. That night, our cameras caught one of the guards being loaded up into an ambulance. Here that video is. Video later shows a line of inmates all in handcuffs against the wall. No word on if any of them were charged or what kind of injuries the guard had.
Inside MDC, things reportedly got dark quickly. Diddy allegedly refused jail food, fearing it had been tampered with. People around him said he looked paranoid, barely slept, and believed he was being targeted. At one point, he even claimed a knife was held to his throat.
There was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up and this guy basically had him, and he had the knife. And Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy.
MDC's reputation only made things worse. Known for violence, overcrowding, and poor medical care, it's often described as hell on earth. Eventually, Diddy was transferred to FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. It's calmer, but still prison, no luxury, no special treatment. He now sleeps on a steel bed, works laundry duty, and struggles with ongoing paranoia.
Them type of cells are built to mentally destroy you. mentally, not physically, mentally.
Yeah.
They not mentally, they mean they're mentally destroyed. And guess what? When people make things for you, they gonna do their job. You smoke weed, you gonna get high. You get put in that solitary, you gonna lose your mind. Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's there to break you, to stop you. Oh, you wanna act up? Well, put him in there. Yeah, nigga, all the money, you know what PC Diddy think? You know, he gotta come down to what we call a real reality check. You gotta come back down to earth, homie. You never left. You just been so high up there, you thought you was in heaven.
But that's below earth. I'm in prison like hell, though. Like, shit.
It's just one step away.
Yeah.
Mama said you will end up dead or in the grave. Well, which one is it, mama? Dead or in the grave? You understand? I'm trying to figure out. Let's make that make sense. But right now, Diddy in the grave. He ain't dead. He's somewhere he can't. It's like being in a coffin you can't get out. It's like somebody threw dirt on you. You in there, but you can't. He in the grave right now. He in Hades. He beat on the dog. All the things. Let me tell you. Boy, that got me hot right now.
Man.
The only thing gonna save you behind them balls is God.
Now, come on now.
Don't worry, man. I said it again. Not the guards. You can call for the rank. You can call lieutenant. You call the sergeant. Guards. God, you calling the wrong one. You gotta call God.
Damn.
That's the only person gonna save you behind them balls. You can call anybody else you want for help in there. Your mama, your daddy, lieutenant this, captain that. No. You should have been calling. You know.
Damn.
At one point, Diddy tried to stay productive by organizing a Thanksgiving meal and joining self-improvement programs. Still, long isolation and watching his public image collapse clearly took a toll. Around the same time, a documentary about his alleged crimes, produced by 50 Cent, was released.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, you know, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges.
According to federal records, the earliest Diddy could be released is June 4th, 2028, and that depends on good behavior and program completion. Until then, he remains stuck in the same strict routine at Fort Dix. The question now is whether Christian could end up following the same path. Let us know what you think in the comments.